What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. We back at it again. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now we brought back our special guest, Mr. Bo, and we want to talk about today something that has been swept under the rug throughout the YTBC. I really haven't seen too many videos on it. Shout out to Fight Hype, you know what I'm saying? One of the best interviews that I've seen this year. And it was a interview they gave Mr. Ishe Smith about pretty much his relationship with Al Heyman and TMT, Floyd Mayweather Promotions. And, you know, he's basically stating that he's been around the block. He's been with a lot of different promoters. I believe he said he's been with Top Rank. I know he said he was with Golden Boy. And he mentioned a couple other managers slash promoters that he's dealt with. And he basically says that Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather have treated him better than any other manager slash promoter combination out there. All right. And he's basically saying he doesn't understand why people hate a guy that is looking to put money in the fighter's pockets. Okay. And he goes on to, to talk about, when he was a young fighter coming up, he fought 4 rounds. He only got like $1,000. He fought 6 rounds. He got like $3,000. He fought 8 rounds, he got like 6,000 or 5,000. He fought 10 rounds, he got 10,000, etc. Right? And that's not counting the percentage that the promoters take out of the check, and then the percentage that he has to pay his trainers and the rest of his camp. So he said he could get like a $10,000 check, but in reality, it'll only be like 3,000, and that's to fight 10 rounds. Then he goes on to say to be on the undercard of an undisclosed fight. He didn't mention the fight, but I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. He said to be on the undercard of a particular fight, he got 15 G's just for that fight. And that was while he was under the Mayweather Promotions banner. You know what I'm saying? And before I turn it over to my panel, I seen a lot of motherfuckers saying, immediately dismiss this because Ishe Smith isn't this, quote, big star in boxing, and he isn't, this 8-time world champion in 16 different weight classes and knocking motherfuckers out every other fight. That shit doesn't matter. This is a guy who's been on the front lines, right? He's been around the block in terms of managers and promoters throughout the sport, and he's sitting here telling you from the first lines, or from the front lines, that PBC, Al Heyman, and Floyd Mayweather Jr., what they're doing is helping boxing, and they've helped a fighter just like him. Sess, what did you think about this, boss?
Man, I loved everything that Ishe Smith had to say. Everything he said was genuine. He wasn't looking at it from a biased perspective. He wasn't favoring anybody in what he was saying. It was just raw, pure truth. Yep. He was telling a story of his own experiences with these different promoters and how the money never adds up when you're dealing with shiesty and shady promoters. They always devalue their fighters, and they always devalue their abilities. And to quote something he said, he was talking about when he was with Golden Boy Promotions. And he said after his first loss on Golden Boy Promotions, they cut him loose.
Yep.
They let him go out of nowhere. He said there was no warning. They never spoke about it. They just basically let him go. Yep. They didn't say, hey, you need to win this fight in order for us to keep you. No, they just pretty much fucking let him go. Just as simple as that. They cut the strings. And that's the thing that I don't understand with people hating on Al Heyman. You could talk about Al Heyman making bad fights or uncompetitive fights, but guess what? Top Rank does the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Golden Boy does the same thing. K2 does it. All of these guys do the same exact thing. Why is Al Heyman catching so much of the grief and catching so much of the blame? And here you have Ishe Smith telling you, look, man, fighters don't have any knowledge of health insurance.
Yep.
They don't have any of these promoters, managers, advisors telling them anything about, look, you need to look into this type of coverage. Here goes some of the better rates. Yep. You know what I mean? And if you can't get the better rates, well, guess what? We're going to pay you so that you can afford health insurance, life insurance, and things of that nature. You know, something else that he mentioned in the video was the fact that Pritchard Cologne, all of his hospital bills are paid for by Al Heyman. His whole stint, everything's being paid for him. Okay, you know, and man, it really irritates me when I see fans go so hard at this guy, because they should be advocating for other promoters to follow his lead. You know, all of the energy that we're directed towards all the negative energy that's being directed towards Al Heyman should be directed towards Bob Arum, Golden Boy, and these other promoters that don't give a fuck about the fighters.
And let me just cut in just a little bit. You know, not even, I say, just top rank. Honestly, I mean, some of that shit, yes, to the other promoters, but top rank, bro. I mean, this is a fucking company that has had fighters stop their careers in its tracks because of the contracts that has pretty much gotten these fighters into a fucked up deal. You see what I'm saying? Perfect example, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a guy that could have been possibly top 5 pound for pound right now. He could have been top 3. That's how good he was, right? But this guy hasn't fought in like 2.5 fucking years. Why? Because he's in a promotional contract that he cannot get out of with Top Rank. So if not Golden Boy or any of these other promotional companies, the fucking anger really needs to be directed to Top Rank and Bob Arum, most definitely.
Look at Brandon Rios. He wins a fight in February and don't fight for 8 months later against Bradley.
Exactly. So
my bad, man. Sorry, Seth. And another thing I want to add, my bad, yo. Another thing I want to add is with a lot of these guys that are hated in boxing, you know what I'm saying? The mainstream media fails to report what exactly these guys are doing good for the sport. Like you just said, Pritchard Cologne taken care of by Al Heyman. 100% of his medical bills being paid by Al Heyman is not being fucking reported by Dan Rafael, and it's not being reported by Steve Kim or any other biased mainstream media fucking outlet when they do report on Al Heyman. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather, the most hated fighter in the boxing history behind probably Muhammad Ali, right? They didn't report on him when Gennaro Hernandez died. He took care of 100% of the funeral arrangements for Gennaro Hernandez, who, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the guy that Floyd Mayweather first won a title off of. Also Arturo Gotti, also Diego Corrales. He helped with their funerals. You see what I'm saying? These are guys that he beat the hell out of and that he talked a lot of shit about, that he demeaned in the promotion of their fights. But when something tragic happened to them, Floyd Mayweather put up his money to help them get through the tragic times, to help him and his family get through the tragic times. You see what I'm saying? But these mainstream media outlets don't report on that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, and my final point, I'll turn it over to Bo. But I loved when Ishe said this, and a lot of these viewers and a lot of these casual fans need to go and watch this interview and really listen to what he was saying. Okay, he said a lot of these writers and a lot of these boxing pundits, they aren't writers anymore. Just because they go in there and they jot something down on a piece of pen, with a pen and a paper, or they type some shit up, they're not writers, they're fans. And that's the problem with a lot of these guys, because in my opinion, if you're gonna be in the middle, you have to be in the middle on everything. You know, if I was reporting news, I would never ever mix my own personal opinion into what I'm writing, because I know that everybody's gonna be reading it. Okay, but you got guys like Dan Rafael who mix his personal opinions and emotions into what he's typing on Twitter or into what he's writing. And you're doing a disservice to all the fans as a whole when you do that. You know, and Steve Kim and all these other guys who seem so fucking one-sided. And Ishe rightfully called them out. You guys are not writers, you're fans. You know? And that's what I love when he said that, man, because that shit needs to be said. And it needs to be brought out in the forefront for people to really try and grasp just what he's saying and understand where he's coming from when he says that. These guys are not reporting the truth, they're reporting opinion. And that's where it really starts to piss me off.
Bo?
First off, as always, man, thanks for having me.
No problem.
I always love what you brothers do, man. You guys really talk about stuff whether people like it or not.
Appreciate it.
I just want to say there's a particular cat, and me and 2K know who it is, who's gonna watch this. He gonna have something to say. So I want you to personally see my fucking face, so you know what I look like, okay? And this is for you.
Yes, sir.
Bottom line is this. It doesn't matter if Ishe Smith is the top 10, top whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? What matters is this is a guy from his own personal experience is telling us what has been going on throughout his career and other fighters. There are so many fighters, and if you know anything about boxing, when you start off, you don't automatically start making a lot of fucking money.
Hell no.
Sometimes you get fights, we only get $300.
Yes, sir.
$500. Winky Wright had to take jobs as being a fucking sparring partner.
Yep.
Yep.
Before he finally, you know what I'm saying, got his motherfucker.
So did Raimundo Beltran.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
Raimundo Beltran, okay? So everybody don't come out and be the top. Golden Boy did the same thing to K9 Bundridge.
Yep.
They dropped him
Yep.
after a fucking loss, okay? But my thing is this, though. Like you said, everybody talk about the bad that Al Heyman do. There's two guys by the name of Amir Mansour and Eric Walker.
Ooh.
These dudes was in prison.
Yes, they were.
Mhm.
Who else would have gave these dudes a chance and put them in a mainstream fucking fight on national television? Who else would have done that? Gave them a chance. Also, if you ever been to a PBC event, they have functions where you can go meet your fucking fighters and talk to them, okay? They provide jobs for these fighters and outlooks by making them commentators, by, you know, putting them on TV and you can talk to them. Like they got a thing with Sean Porter where he's gonna do an exhibition bout, you know, stuff like that. So it's like, you know, it's easy. Talking about Al Heyman to me is like when you that kid on punishment, you can't go outside and that one motherfucker like, yeah, bitch, you know, you lucky you ain't out here, I'll fuck you up because he know you can't come out. So talking about Al Heyman is like that because you know he's not gonna say nothing back.
Yes.
So you can say whatever you want to say because Al ain't gonna say nothing back. But Dan Raphael, like you said, he'll tell you about what the viewing numbers was, but he don't never tell you how good the fight was or if the fight was good at all. That's a disservice to those two dudes that sacrificed everything and got into that fucking ring.
Yep.
Tell me about the fight. If you are a fan, and again, this is for those of you who always got something to say, if you are a fan of the sport and you're a supporter, why would you want any part of boxing to fucking fail?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Why would
That's
you want
what-
any
that's what
part of
Ishe was
boxing to fail?
saying.
Yeah,
Yep.
because here's the thing that you don't understand. The fighters don't lose. Al Heyman's not going to lose. And we as fans not going to lose. You know who lose? The motherfuckers that take a temporary job to put the fucking ring together.
Yes.
The motherfucking camera crew. The motherfucker that sets up the conference room, okay? You have all these outlets like ours and other independent workers who actually go to these conference meetings now and actually interview these cats. All right, your boy, you guys interviewed a guy, I can't remember his name, but y'all interviewed, you had him on the show.
AC.
And AC, and like AC had talked about something that's, you know, that's a very good point too. Was he was talking about this little contract that fighters can take to these type of moves is putting the fighter's career back into their own hands.
Yes.
Yep.
See, and that's the thing that you have to understand. Look, no one's saying that you're not supposed to make money. No one's saying that, you know, you're doing something bad. But what we're saying is, what is wrong if the guys who are the employees are not complaining about their employer? Why the fuck do everybody else got something to say?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's the main issue. We can sit here all day. It's not about Heyman. It's not about Arum. It's not even about King and everybody else. And which, matter of fact, Bob Arum and Don King is the reason why you got the Ali Act, because they was investigated by Senator John McCain.
Good point.
All right,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying? You want to tell me about Heyman's lawsuit? Well, Oscar got a lawsuit for fucking with Carnello and David fucking Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? So there are things you don't hear. Like, we hear that, oh, Arum got a lawsuit against Heyman. But you didn't hear, oh, well, the antitrust part, his lawsuit got thrown out. So you know what I'm saying? You know, you don't hear shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's because, to Ishe's point and to Seth's point, these type of guys that also write, they are appealing. Like, they know guys like us is gonna watch or entertain the fight. Like you said, old money and new money.
Yeah.
We're old money. So appeal to those people that don't like our shit to bring in that new fucking money.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep. Let me real quick, 2K.
Go ahead.
Let me break down that concept. I forgot all about it. The old money and the new money concept is you've got boxing right now. Channels like HBO, they try to appeal to the new money fans, the casual fans. So the product that they put out is mainly tailored towards putting guys in the ring that are gonna have that rock'em sock'em robot type of a style, you know. And you got guys like Dan Raphael who praise that and write about that. So everything that's not that, they talk shit about it.
Yep.
You know, or the fights that appeal to fans like myself and you and Bo. That's the old money. That's money that's in the bank. That's money that, you know, is not gonna be, that's not going nowhere. You know, you're gonna always have that money that's loyal money. It's gonna be there. It's gonna generate revenue. It's always gonna come in. You know, that new money, that's the product that, like I said, you're gonna put out there to really grasp those casuals' attention and really try to bring them into the sport. You know, great business model, but when you have guys behind it that report and propagate bullshit, it makes it very hard for other fighters and their styles to succeed and for them to be paid the money that they should be paid and be given the attention that they should be given. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a little bit off topic, a little bit off subject, but it kind of does correlate to what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I agree with everything that Bo said, man. I mean, boxing has to get back to a point to where it's on a platform and the fans are loving it and the fighters are making the most amount of money possible because they're the ones going in there taking these shots, man. Yep. No promoter, no manager, no advisor should be in the position of telling this guy, hey, I'm gonna pay you pennies, but I want you to go over here and fucking fight Gennady Golovkin. Right. You know what I mean? Or Sergey Kovalev, or an Andre Ward. You know, both fight, and you know, we understand the dynamics of A side, B side, but at the end of the day, a lot of these promoters, man, are ruining these fighters' careers because they're taking not only so much out of these guys financially, but they're putting them in some really, really, really bad positions. And right now, it seems like Al Heyman is the guy that's making the fights that the fans want to see, or that should be made. Yep. You know, with a couple iffy fights in between, but like I said, everybody does that. Everybody does it. It's a business model that everybody has to follow. Yep. You know, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see Canelo Golovkin in 3 fucking years. You know, I don't want to see any more Mayweather Pacquiao in 6 fucking years. Yeah. You know, it's upon the fans to say, hey, if they don't want to fight, why don't they want to fight? Oh, he don't want to take a drug test? Okay, I'm not going to shit on the guy that's asking for a drug test. I'm going to shit on the motherfucker that don't want to take the drug test. You know? And the fans have to bring it upon themselves, man, to listen to guys like Ishe Smith and read between the lines. Look at what he's saying to you. I mean, you know, stop taking my bad 2K. I'm wrapping it up. Stop taking his words for just face value and brushing them off as a bum. It shouldn't fucking matter. He's still getting in the ring and fighting another man. Exactly. And that's my biggest thing. Like, his accolades don't. Why the fuck do accolades have to prove that your word matters? You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. I can understand that if he was talking in the sense of you know, these other promoters only treat stars this certain way. He didn't say that. He said they're treating me this certain way. And Mayweather and Heyman are treating me that sort of way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that he fucking sucks, right? Because that's what these motherfuckers are saying. I don't think he sucks. But I'm saying, I'm speaking in terms of what these dumb motherfuckers out there are saying. Right. He sucks, right? He's never been knocked out. He's lost fights, but he still sucks, right? Whatever. The fact that he sucks should give Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather more incentive to treat him like shit. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Just like he said Golden Boy treated him like shit. Then why isn't Mayweather treating him like shit? Then instead he's saying Mayweather told him, hey, you don't have to worry about nothing for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Exactly.
I got your back. You my boy, you like family, I got your back. Why is Floyd Mayweather telling a guy with, I think he has 8 losses. He's like 23-8. I don't know his record. YouTube, correct me if I'm wrong. If he's like 23-8. He just lost, he won his last fight. I think he lost 2 fights before that, some shit like that. Point is, he's not one of the top fighters at 147. He's not one of the top fighters at 154. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of the top fighters in the sport. Mm-hmm. But Floyd tells him, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Why? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. That speaks volumes. And it's not like these two motherfuckers have been boys since they were young. You know what I'm saying? Like Floyd and what's the dude's name you used to train with, Bo?
Nate Jones.
Nate Jones. Floyd and Nate Jones been homies since elementary school. This is not Floyd and Ishe Smith. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But for some reason, Floyd is willing to have his back as if that was the case. Mm-hmm. This ain't what promoters should be doing, right? Don King will drop your ass.
Oh yeah.
Bob Arum will drop your motherfucking ass.
Robert Guerrero, remember? People don't know this. Robert Guerrero, last promoter, pretty much threw his fucking phone number in the garbage can.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
These guys will drop
career,
you.
Yeah.
These guys will not only take a large percentage of your paycheck, but they will drop you if they see that your revenue is not turning. It's not turning to revenue. Your fights aren't turning to revenue. They will drop your motherfucking ass. But for some reason, Mayweather Promotions and Al Heyman continue to put money in these guys' pockets. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna post the link in the comment section, or at least in the video description section, so you guys can watch the video and come back with your own take on it. Also, what Bo was talking about earlier with the interview we had with AC Clark, he's talking about the boxer manager agreement that AC Clark came up with that basically allows boxers, once he gets out of his manager contract, it expires, whatever, he can give them a contract of his own, basically stating I will get majority of the revenue when I get a fight. We will also post the link to the interview in the description of this video as well. Anything else, fellas?
That's it, man.
That's it, man.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this segment. I want to thank my man Bo for coming on here, and like he said, he challenges any of y'all motherfuckers to come on here and talk shit. He said, I wanted y'all to see my face. It is what it is. I'm the same way. Do what you do in the comment section and be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.